Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome, 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 welcome to A Better World with Adrienne, your home for leadership, growth, and all things designed and strategically implemented to support you in living your biggest, truest, deepest life for yourself and the whole damn world. I am really excited to be here. If you're new here, I'm Adrienne, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful that you pressed play today, and I'm excited to make magic together. So today's episode, I'm really diving into this idea of community and what that really means and the importance of it and why it matters and how to create it. And this has been showing up in my life again and again and again. It's showing up in my clients' lives. And I'm about to lead a mastermind. Spoiler alert. I am leading a mastermind for spiritual leadership called Capricorn Council in 2024. Link is in the show notes if you want to check it out. And I'm really feeling into this container of the souls that I will get to lead through this mastermind and what community means in that sense. And it's just been this overarching theme of community, community, community. So I'm really excited to really dive into this topic. It's so important for so many reasons. So before we get into it, something we always do here at A Better World with Adrienne is we call upon the altar. So an altar, if you don't know this about me, by the way, I'm a shaman. My shaman name is White Earth Star. And that's a really big part of my leadership, is sharing my spiritual gifts and bringing us back to the ancient codes that are meant to lead New Earth. And so altars are a very simple, divine, potent way that we can just say, thank you in advance to spirit. Thank you to our guides. Thank you to God source energy. Thank you to the stars. Thank you to all of it. So I have on the altar today I'm blanking on the name of it. It's a purple Ganesha. I'm blanking on the name of that crystal, and it's going to bother me. It's going to bother me. Purple amethyst. Purple amethyst. I got it. Okay. An amethyst Ganesha. To remove all of the obstacles, this just represents the divine hand that's always guiding us, always with us. Okay. I have a clear quartz raw crystal. This is just cleaning the whole field. I'm really getting a lot from my guides about energetic hygiene. There's a lot being kicked up in the collective. There's a lot of darkness, a lot of shadows being exposed in the collective right now. And it's just deeply important to be aware of that. I have these new flowers. I don't even know the name of them, but they grow right outside my door. They are bright pink. And so they're on the altar. They're magenta. I have my Lemurian seed crystals, always anchoring back to the truth of Lemuria, to the truth of Gaia, to the truth of the ancient codes, all our past lives that have so much information for us. I've been keeping this stopwatch, this little time watch on my altar to remind us of time, to remind us of Saturn. We are in Capricorn season. We are like starting a whole new beginning in the realm of Capricorn, discipline, legacy, long-term creation, all of that. And it literally rules success and time. And I also have an unscented white candle, purifying the space, just calling in and making this a holy transmission. This is a holy transmission. This is a holy podcast. This is, yes, a podcast of strategy and tools and how to and all the things like that. It's also soul. Here we combine soul and skill. And so may the white candle call in all of our healed ancestors, all of our healed guides to just really steward the space. And yeah, let's dive in. So to complete our altar, we take 3 deep breaths together to connect our minds, bodies, and spirits. So whether you're listening, walking, whether you are riding in your car, driving, whether you're with, your feet on the land that you live on, inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. I just invite you to make a sigh. Inhale through the nose. And another sigh. So much power in sound and life force. Inhale through your nose. This time, holding at the top, I want you to hold your vision. Hold your vision of what you believe a better world is. Smiles, laughter, joy, love, harmony, bliss, wealth, all the things. Keep holding it at the top because it's real. It's up to you to hold the vision. Exhale out the mouth. All right, my loves, blink open your eyes. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this space, this transmission, and let's dive in. We have our container set, we have our altar set, we are connected in our life force. So now let's connect on the importance of your success community, the importance of the community of souls that you ride with through in this lifetime as a very important part of your success, of your growth, of your ascension, of your leadership, of your happiness, of your impact, of your wealth, of all of these things. Okay, so the reason I'm creating this podcast episode specifically is because community has been, honestly, a really elusive creature to me for so long. And it's very obvious in my astrology. I have Chiron in Leo in Cancer. No, that's not right. I have Chiron in Leo in the 3rd house, which was ruled by Cancer, which is community. The 3rd house is community. And Chiron means is the wounded healer. It's a past life wound. It's your portal to your deepest medicine. It's something that each of us have a Chiron, and it's like our lived experience that contains our most potent codes. Okay. And so my Chiron is in community, being seen in community, right? Leading in community, like having wounds around leading in community. And so how this has expressed for me is just consistently throughout my life, either outgrowing community, being rejected from community, being, gossiped about by community. And it's very, very cellular, because if you resonate with me and my work, you're an old soul. That means you came back in this lifetime to build new earth with me. Congratulations. Welcome to the destiny path. This also means you likely experienced other timelines where you were either harmed or murdered for leading, for speaking, for being seen by community in your magic, in your power, in your truth. And so none of this is to disregard any of that, because that's a very visceral cellular thing that I clear and help my clients clear through breath work. Okay. So the reason why I might have gone off on a little tangent here, but the importance of your success community is so, I can't stress how valuable this is. I can't stress how important it is. I can't stress how it makes or breaks your ability to lead, to create, and to make impact. Okay. So the biggest gaps I see. So the way we're going to do this podcast is I'm going to talk about the gaps first. And if you're listening and you're resonating with these gaps, like, this is for you. Okay. I haven't encountered one person who doesn't experience these challenges, especially as a spiritual leader, because we are in a unique cross section, right? So the people that I work with and the people in my community, and this is you, if you're listening, whether you've stepped into it fully or not yet, is this unique cross section of being a mystic, of being deeply spiritual, of being so in touch with source and spirit and God source energy and nature. And then also being ambitious as fuck. Also being on a mission to succeed, on a mission to build a legacy. And it's all deeply connected. So what I see a lot in this, I see a lot of communities that are like, success, grind it out, blah, 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 blah. They're missing the soul. They're missing the soul part. They're missing the spiritual part. I mean, raise your hand if you see leaders with massive ambition making their version of success on the planet, but they are not rooted in spirit. I mean, yeah, we're literally witnessing genocide, so that's obvious, right? And then I see this other swing of the pendulum where it's like there's all this community with, deep spiritual people, where this is what I see a lot on Maui. People are so spiritual, they're so connected to the land, they're so, really on that path of connection, but they're not ambitious. They don't want to create wealth. They're not on a path of success. And or they're just playing small. And so what I really see is these two seemingly opposing things that are both not New Earth. Both of these are not New Earth, and both of these are communities I see, and both of these are the incorrect community for you. All right, you get to have a community that is soul and success. Soul and success. In my opinion, you can't have success without soul. And also, in my opinion, you can't be soulful and spiritual if you're not creating success. Okay, so here's the gaps I see. First, I see a deep loneliness on the spiritual path. So I'm going to talk about gaps. I'm going to give you two potent breakthroughs, and I'm going to talk about how you can find, build, curate, and create your success community. Okay, your soul success community. Okay, first, I see a deep loneliness in the spiritual path. Like me, myself, and I, and all of my clients, and every mystic I've met everywhere has never not experienced this deep loneliness, this deep feeling of being misunderstood, of like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to stay home and, meditate and dive deep into tarot, or dive deep into, all these different wisdom traditions rather than go to a party and drink. Or like, I've always felt like no one gets me, it's like there is a lonely element to the spiritual path. And I really want to just validate that and be like, if this is you, if you've ever felt lonely walking the spiritual path, that is normal. That is part of it. I don't know one person that hasn't felt that. Okay. And at the very same time, it's not required. And the path of the lonely leader, the lonely healer, the lonely spiritual being is dead. Okay. So this is the first gap I see, a deep loneliness in the spiritual path. Okay. And then the second gap I see that's blocking people in success community is the current temperature of the rooms that people are in. Okay. I see a lot of aspiring spiritual leaders. Like, this podcast is for spiritual leaders. This message is for spiritual leaders. Okay. Like, the reason for all of it is to lead New Earth. Like, A Better World with Adrian is for New Earth leaders. Okay. So, and by the way, if you don't think you're a leader of your own life. So if you haven't figured that out yet, that's the first step. Okay. You are the leader of your own life. Okay. The second gap is the temperature of the rooms people are in. The temperature of the rooms you're in. If you are in a room of mediocrity and you are someone who believes in success, believes in excellence, your version of going through the motions will appear like excellence, when it's actually not, just because you're surrounded by mediocrity. And so the gaps are people in the incorrect rooms, people in rooms full of people. I really just see a gap of spiritual souls in rooms of mediocrity, in rooms of people that don't believe, that play small, and it affects the way they show up. It affects their destiny. It takes them off the destiny path. So here's what I really want to say. There are two major gaps. And I really see there's either people are either really, really lonely with no community, okay? Or the temperature of the room you're in, or you're in the wrong community. I'll say it. You're either, this is what I see, and I'm a projector in human design. My magic is what I see. I either see this. I either see people feeling really lonely on the spiritual path of leadership and success. Remember, it's a unique cross-section, this soul success, right? You're either lonely or you're in the wrong community. Okay, that's just what I see again and again and again and again and again. Okay, so here's the breakthrough. Here's the breakthrough, okay? A lot of people seek success. A lot of people seek community in the communities that they were dealt at the beginning of life, right? Your family, your friends that you went to high school with, the people you're around with geographically, like all of that stuff. Like, people just settle for the community that they were dealt in life. And so here's two major breakthroughs in the realm of community that can change your life today. Okay, here's the first one. It's no one else's job to believe in you. That's your job. That's your job. It's no one else's job to believe in you. That's your job. And here's the thing. This is what set me free, baby. Because for a long time, I was trying to convince my friends, my family. I was jumping through hoops. I was like, I want to be understood. I want to be seen. Oh, I want them to come with me on my path. Like all these things. And it's like, it's no one else's job to believe in your dream. So if you've been waiting for the people around you to believe in you, you're wasting your life force. You're giving your power away. This is between you and you. This is between you and your creator. Okay? So it's literally no one else's job to believe in you. That's your job. All right? If they come with you, if they celebrate you, amazing, wonderful. Not their job. Not their job. That's your job. This is between you and your creator. And here's the other breakthrough. You ready? If you're the most powerful person in the room, get up and leave immediately. Immediately. Okay? One of my most influential mentors said this to me, and she was quoting someone at the time, and I have no idea who actually said it, but if you're the most powerful person in the room, get up and leave immediately. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying that not every person on the planet is powerful beyond measure and creator of their reality. They are. But rare is the soul who will actually hold that power, who will actually wield that power, and who will actually live in such a way that they're committed to expanding that power with integrity every day. Okay? If you are the most powerful person in the room, get up and leave immediately. Because this is influencing your mindset, your heart set. This is placing doubt. This is diluting your destiny. It's a direct affront to your divine assignment, these low level rooms and communities. Okay. So first breakthrough, it's no one else's job to believe in you. That's your job. If you're the most powerful person in the room, get up and leave immediately. And I'm not talking about like cut off your whole family or cut off all your friends or any of that. Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is not everybody's going to come with you. Not everybody's going to understand. You got to be okay with that. And like, for example, I would say that most people in my extended family probably think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're like, yo, Adrian like moved to Maui and talks about magic and like she's not married. She doesn't have any kids. Like, what's wrong with like I'm not exaggerating. Like, also I'm like psychic, so I know when people talk shit. But anyways, that's not my problem, you know? That's not my job. And, you know, just let them be who they are. One of the most powerful things, if you want to live a peaceful, happy life, here's a code for you. Let people be who they are. Don't try to change them. Okay? You can inspire them. You can invite them to the journey. Don't bang your head up against the wall trying to change people, because you know what that actually is? That is a fancy way of distracting yourself from your destiny, from your own healing, from your own expansion, from your own work. All right? Every time you go try to fix somebody, every time you go try to change somebody, you are playing the savior and just avoiding your own evolution. So love them as they are. Let them be who they are. All right. Some people will come, others won't. That's part of it. So you may be like, well, Adrian, if it's no one else's job to believe in me except me and spirit, and if I'm meant to leave the room, if I'm the most powerful person there, like if you're the only one going for your dreams, if you're the only person who's spiritual and ambitious, get out of the room. Get out of the room, man. You may be wondering, if it's no one else's job to believe in me and I'm supposed to leave the room if I'm the most powerful, then what am I supposed to do? How on earth am I supposed to build, find, or have this success soul community that you're saying is so important? Well, I'm glad you asked because that's what I'm talking about next is the how. Okay, it's up to you to go find it and go create it. Go get it, boo. Go get it. Go find it, go create it, go get in those rooms. It's not going to come knocking at your door, okay? And I really just want to be very, very, very clear. It's not about just community. It's about the right community. It's about being around people that inspire you. It's about being around people that help you be a better person, that lift you up, that don't hear you talk and be like, oh, are you sure? Or have you seen anybody else do that? Or that's not going to work. Like over realistically, people don't realize how much that chips away at your psyche. You don't realize how much it chips away at your soul. You don't realize how much it chips away at your belief. Because let me tell you about the path of new earth. This shit gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy. That's why not everyone will do it. Okay? If it was easy, we'd already be living in new earth. If it was easy, everybody would be happy millionaires. Okay? It's not easy, it's simple. And rare is the soul who actually does it. And so I feel so on fire for this message, because it's like, it's not just any community. It's not just any community. Anybody can just roll into a random gym, a random yoga studio, a random moon circle and have a quote unquote community. It's about the right community, because let's be real, there are charlatans everywhere. And what's a charlatan? I was recently asked, I told someone, I was like, well, be aware of charlatans. And they were like, what's a charlatan? And I was like, I don't think I want to talk about this. A charlatan is someone who masquerades as something they're not. Okay? It's the person on the beach that told me they were shaman while they're smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, yo, you ain't no shaman. Don't talk to me. For real though, like, we're in a point of major, deep discernment of energetic hygiene, of spiritual integrity, and of success. You came here to not just be spiritual, you came here to be deeply successful. Okay? As a leader, you're a pioneer. We are pioneers. And here's the thing, this is why it matters so much. And I was getting onto my little rant there, but it's like, how do you build? How do you find? How do you create this community of success, of spirituality, of leadership? You go out there and find it. You go out there and build it. You go out there and create it. And you go with the deep knowing that it's not about any community. It's about the right community, the aligned community. Okay? So deep discernment. Discernment is your ability to judge what's correct, what's in alignment, what's a yes or no in your body. Okay? Let your body lead you. You will know. And I really invite you into this. It's just a little framework for making your decisions, but it's like, if deep integrity of spirituality and deep integrity of ambition and success are not in the room, it's not correct. It's got to have both. It's got to have both. This is the cross section that we're playing with. These are the people that I work with in my programs, in my mastermind, in my one-on-one clients. These are the people. It's the mystics who make moves. It's the mystics who climb mountains. It's the mystics who stack mad cash and circulate wealth on behalf of spirit to build a better world. This is what we're doing. And so the reason why it matters so much, I was getting into this a little bit more, but it's like, if you're constantly around people who are either downplaying your ambitions for life and leadership, or just fine staying stagnant, which, by the way, staying stagnant is the same as going backwards, in my opinion. Because our natural state is growth. Our natural state is to evolve and change and level up. Like the core of the human spirit is growth and success and ambition. People wonder why they're not happy. A lot of people lost their ambition during COVID. They're like, oh, I'm just going to sit on the couch and Netflix and give up on life. And I'm like, yo, that was 4 years ago. There's a genocide on our hands. How can you do that? How can you sit there like that? And this may be edgy. This may be calling you into a higher game. And if it is, I'm glad. I'm glad, because, I'm being called into a higher game of leadership. I'm being called to step into the mic more. I'm being called to be like, okay, Adrienne, what have you actually thought for years and never said? Because you were scared, because you were fearful, because you didn't want to be rejected, because, you didn't want all the haters and all of that stuff. And I really burned away a lot of that at the full moon in Cancer. And with this new moon in Capricorn, it's conjunct my legacy. My legacy is going to read, she inspired people. She activated people into their highest expression on this planet. She held space for them, not to just heal, but to fucking level up and become masters of their craft so they can be artists of life and create on behalf of source. So when each of us make a vision, we make a better world. Because shit is hitting the fan, y'all. It's not time to sit back. It's really not. So the more you're around people that are downplaying your dreams, that are diluting your power, it's like chipping away at your willpower. It's a waste of your willpower, and it literally hurts your spirit. It hurts your belief. It hurts your growth. Like, why would you tread water in water that's not even meant for you, when you can go play in a pool that people are literally going to celebrate you. Okay. So it's not just community, it's the right community. How do you do it? You go find it and create it with deep, deep, deep discernment. Here's how: you follow your obsessions relentlessly. What are you obsessed with? Are you obsessed with astrology? Are you obsessed with leadership? Are you obsessed with human design? Are you obsessed with business? Are you obsessed with making money? Are you obsessed with healing, your womb? Are you obsessed with, what are you obsessed with? Okay. And follow it relentlessly. This is where you're going to find your people. This is where I have found all my people, is just follow your obsessions relentlessly and follow your intuition relentlessly and follow spirit relentlessly. Like if you ask spirit, hey spirit, I'm on a mission to find my soul success community. Please send me clear signs when I'm on the right path. And you can even make a code up with spirit. Hey, send me a sign in the form of a purple whale when I'm receiving a message of that for my soul success community. You won't even believe how specific spirit can get. When you start communicating like this is the power. This is what I teach my clients, and what I'm going to be holding space for in my mastermind is like, spirit's part of your success community, my love. So something I really don't want people to get confused about is the difference between loneliness and solitude. Because loneliness, I've been in a city of millions of people and in a long-term partnership where we almost got married and I shared a home and finances with this person and never felt more lonely in my whole life. I've slept next to someone for years in divine, well, it wasn't divine union, in union, and never felt more lonely in my whole life because I was disconnected from myself and spirit. And so what a soul success community will do is, it's not relationships that are a distraction from spirit. It's relationships that actually deepen your relationship to spirit and success and ambition and crushing it in the 3D plane, because you can have it all. And by the way, you need to have it all to build new earth. Can I get a hell yeah for that one? That was some good shit. That's like when I go back, by the way, I go back and listen to my podcast because my channel I'm learning so much about myself through human design. By the way, speaking of following your obsessions relentlessly, I followed my obsessions relentlessly. I had a reading. I'm now like way more connected with someone that I actually met in a mastermind, of course. My friend Jenna, that's been on the podcast, that does human design readings. Like, if you think I haven't had doubt and all that shit in my journey, like, there's a reason why I talk about this. It's so important. And so follow your obsessions relentlessly. This is where you're going to find your people. This is where I found Julia Phoenix. She's in my soul success community. She's the most deeply powerful, one of the most powerful people I know spiritually. And she's gonna be a millionaire just like me. Like, we get to have it all, y'all. We get to have ambition and deep spiritual success. And so, yeah, something for me was, most of my relationships, because they weren't this unique intersection of ambition and spirituality, they were distractions from my divine assignment. They diluted my power. They hurt my spirit, my spirit. They separated me from my connection to God's source. Okay. And so what you're seeking, what you're calling in here, is a community that will bring you close, relationships that will bring you closer to source. and closer to your ambition and closer to your goals. Okay. It's a very unique cross section. So another way of how, because people ask me how, and I'm a high performance coach. I'm a skill mastery coach. I'm a habits and systems coach. Okay. I'm not going to tell you to drop the how. There's very systematic how. Okay. Who, what, when, where, and why. Get very clear. Get very clear. I'm playing with the word clear as potentially my word for 2024. I had another word in mind, and it actually presented some unwanted things in my field. So I'm back to the drawing board. Who are you calling in? What does it feel, look, sound, taste like? When are you doing it? When are you doing it? And I invite you to do it now. Now. I'm recording this on Martin Luther King Day, and he said, the time is always right to do, so the time is always right to do what's right. Is that what he said? Something like that. Where? You just got to find where these people hang out and why. Why does it matter? I can tell you why. Because your dreams matter. Because you came here not to play small. You came here not to be mediocre. You came here to be spiritual, deeply expressed as a soul creator of quantum magic, and have deep ambition, humongous goals, and mad success in the 3D plane. That's why. And every time you are not surrounded by people who ignite your ambition and your spirituality at the very same time, you are playing small, you are diluting your destiny, you are not in your full potential. So I just want to share now some examples from my life, okay, of where I found this. Because if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I haven't found this yet. I have not found this yet. Like, I'm at a loss. If you're just listening to this and you're like, yes. Also, I haven't found it yet. Or yes, I kind of have it, but I want more. Or yes, I have it, but I'm being called to a higher game of it, because that's another thing that happens is you might find this and then one day you're going to outgrow it, because that's what we do. Okay. So some examples from my life. All right. One of, like, literally all of these communities have been communities that I entered that were like paid experiences by a powerful mentor. Okay. Or a mastermind. Like, I'm trying to think back of, yeah. So 2 of them were masterminds. One, I joined a mastermind back in 2020, summer 2020. And it was with my mentor, Victoria Washington. I hadn't even gone full-time in my business yet. It was at the height of COVID. George Floyd had just gotten murdered, and the city of Chicago was on fire. There's literally riots outside my window, shit on fire on my block. It was an insane time. And I joined this mastermind. It was called Sacred Rebels. And I entered a room of all people way further on the path than me. I entered a room with Natalia Benson in it when I hadn't even gone full-time in my business yet. So we're talking people like powerful women already making between $500K and $1 million a year. And I was sitting there and I'm like, hi, I just started my business on the side, but I love that version of me, because that version of me knew you got to get at the time, I was the most powerful person in the rooms that I was in. And I was sick of it. I was really I'm sick of being the only person that believes. I'm sick of being around people that just want to go to a 9 to 5 all day and then retire and then like die in Florida. Like, I'm just sick of being part of that. And by the way, if you want to be in a 9 to 5 and that makes you happy, you do you, boo. What I'm saying is, like, make sure it's on your terms. Anyways, entering this mastermind, I was stoked into another level. Within a month, I went full-time in my business. No questions asked. I believed in myself. I was getting high-level coaches. There's such, it's an energetic signature. It's an energetic field. It's an essence of the environment. People say you are what you eat, right? You are the energy that you allow yourself to be in. Okay. You are the energy that you allow yourself to be in. And so I noticed, hey, the energy in my life ain't cutting it. So I'm going to go get in a room that I believe in. And a lot of this has to do with investing. Because here's the thing. If you want this unique intersection, like, you can find a lot of success communities. You can get in a lot of masterminds and shit that don't have any soul in them, that don't have the spiritual component, and you can pay a lot for that. Awesome. You can also enter a lot of spiritual communities with zero ambition that are free. And I wouldn't say they're free. I would say they cost you time. They cost you energy. They cost you your life force. Okay. There's usually some kind of financial component to it, whether it's a membership, whether it's a program, whether it's a mastermind. So my deepest, forms of community that I created were in this mastermind where I was in. It actually ended up closing early because my mentor ended up starting a membership, which I also joined, which is a huge part of my community, my soul success community. And the other time was in January 2023, I joined a mastermind with my mentor, Aisha, and it was called the Soul Biz Mastermind. Notice the unique intersection of all these spaces I'm talking about. It's the unique cross-section of ambition and spirituality. Okay? I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, my neighbor just started mowing the lawn, so I am back. It's this unique cross-section of ambition and spirituality. Okay, this is the path of spiritual endurance, spiritual leadership, what is required for new earth. And so I joined a mastermind last January, and I had all these, business goals. It was very, very ambitious. It was all rooted in astrology and human design and energetics. And, I was really like focused on getting into my feminine energy. And I ended up, making some small tweaks in my business and lifestyle, and then realizing that I was living in the wrong place, like for my spiritual path. It was like I slowed down enough to be able to be quiet with myself and be like, wow, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. Oh my God. And it was so wild. And then so that whole mastermind was just a process of me figuring that out. And then, having the courage to just keep doing it. Because here's the thing, if I would have told people that don't believe, that don't play big, like, hey, I'm going to move to Maui. Hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, no, I haven't been there. It's just my intuition. Like people don't understand. And when you're fragile on your edge, when you are fragile and on your edge, you need people that can hold you high. And so I'm going to come back to this thing. It's no one else's job to believe in you. That's your job. 100% correct, right? We're not convincing people. We're not placating people. We're not people pleasing others. We're not contorting ourselves to fit their mold. However, when you find your soul success community of ambition and spirituality and leadership, You won't have to convince them of jack shit. They will hold you high because that's who they are too. They will support you because that's who they are too. They will give you their expertise, their magic, their insights, because that's who they are. They're a giving soul just like you. And you'll be able to give your magic to them. So it's just really, 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 I can't stress how important this is, especially as we move forward in New Earth. It's like darkness will try to separate us. Darkness will, it already does leverage our nervous system against us to make us feel scared. So we stop. We can't stop. We cannot stop. We must keep going to advance the agenda of the light, to advance the agenda of our divine assignment, to advance the agenda of a better world. So I have 3 quotes. I want to leave you with. So we started out with some gaps. We went to some breakthroughs. I talked about how do you find this community, right? And now I have some quotes. So Zig Ziglar said, or was it Zig Ziglar? I don't know who said this. If it's lonely at the top, you did it wrong. If it's lonely at the top, you did it wrong. And I'm not going to lie. I thought for a really long time that it was going to be lonely at the top, because I felt so misunderstood. And I might even tear up while I'm saying this, because I felt so misunderstood and so just not seen in my mysticism and my magic and my power, and just being around just people that don't live life the way I do. And it's not that they need to, right? Nobody needs to. But I really identify it with this quote is like, if it's lonely at the top, you did it wrong. We're not meant to go alone. Just because this community is rare doesn't mean it doesn't exist, and doesn't mean it's not important, and it literally defines your impact, your success, your happiness, your joy. Like there's a ceiling on what you can do if you choose to go alone. Okay? And trust me, I'm a Taurus rising. If I could do it alone, I probably would. But we're not meant to. That's not the New Earth way. Okay? You're the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I want you to get really, really real with the 5 people you spend the most time with the 5 people you talk to the most. You know, with the 5 like mindsets you're around the most, heart sets you're around the most. If it's people in anxiety, people in fear, people playing small, people, you know, stuck in the matrix and the trance, believing and trusting the government and all of that, like get really, really clear on that, and then clean house, boo. Up level. You want to change your life, change your community. Every single major up level in my life happened the moment I changed my community, the moment I entered rooms where I was going to be held to a higher standard of both ambition and my spiritual embodiment. It's got to be both. Either one on their own is not correct, is not New Earth. And finally, your network is your net worth. And it's true. Yes, master your skill, master your skills, your craft, all of that. Master your divine assignment, what you came here to do, what you're meant to steward, and network your little face off so you can spread the magic. Like your network is directly tied to your impact. Your network is directly tied to your income, to your net worth, right? So it's powerful. This is a really important topic. So I can't stress enough the importance, the value, the need. I would go as far to say it's a need, because humans are not wired to be alone. We're literally herd animals. We're not supposed to be alone. That was the other thing that happened in COVID. is that, and I experienced this as well, especially as an introvert, especially with all my Virgo placements. Like, all of my extroverted friends were having a lot harder time during COVID. First, because I had years and years and years of personal growth and meditation under my belt before COVID hit. So when COVID hit, I was like, yo, this is what you've been training for. I was like, oh my gosh, isolation in my 500-foot square apartment in Chicago, where there's police on my block asking if making sure I don't go anywhere. I was like, this is what you've been training for. And breath work, of course, too. But a lot of people fell into, because we were separated during COVID, that that's like the new normal or whatever. It's like, no. I experienced some of the most deep connection and found my ride or die lifetime soul success community during COVID through the Zoom Stargate portal, through technology, through how you and I are connecting right now. Like, this is magic, by the way. This is the age of Aquarius. So I hope this episode was helpful. I hope this really served you. I hope that if you're someone who's really been like, I'm ambitious and I'm also deeply, deeply spiritual, and I know I'm meant to lead not only myself, but a deep impact for New Earth. This is why and how to build your success community, your soul success community. Okay. And all of this is if you really resonate with all of this, if you are like, oh my God, this is what I need in my life, come join my 2024 Mastermind Capricorn Council. This is why I created this room. I created this room first because it was given to me by Spirit. And it was given to me almost a year ago. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. Wasn't the right time. And looking at the astrology, I'm like, boom, it's go time. It's go time for Capricorn Council, Mastermind. It's divine timing. New moon in Capricorn. Let's go. 2024. Let's fucking go. Okay. So the first reason is I'm answering my divine assignment. Second reason is I just see a major gap and a major desire and a major need by mystics in my world that crave community and also crave ambition. And this Capricorn Council, it's a mastermind. It's a melting pot of other leaders. It's this unique cross section that I've been talking about this whole episode. And it's rooted in the core elements of Capricorn energy, which is endurance, fortitude, discipline, time, structure, long-term planning, self-leadership. It's leadership in the earthly plane. So we are going to be anchoring and rooting into all of these values, these Capricorn values. No, you don't need to be a Capricorn to join. You do not. But we're going to be rooted in these Capricorn values because they're so important for New Earth. So if you are interested in Capricorn Council, we are starting on January 25th, 2024, on the full moon in Leo, which is the sign of leadership, the courageous leader, the Leo leader. I really invite you, if this is you, like, this room will change your life. This room will change your life. I guarantee it. If you've been wanting to work with me, also, if you've been wanting to work with me one-on-one and the financial investment is not aligned with your current financial plan, this is an awesome way to be in close proximity with me, where you're still going to get hot seat one-on-one coaching in our calls and everything, and in the daily Voxer, but at a lower investment. So this is about half the investment per month than it is to work with me one-on-one. So go to the link in the show notes if this is you. Apply for the mastermind. If you are listening to this before the 25th of January, and yeah, if the spaces are still open, then I would love to welcome you. I don't know how long spaces are going to be open, but yeah, we are beginning soon and very soon. I'm so deeply excited about this. And I just really want you to know that it's up to you to go find, create, and get in these rooms. Like the masterminds that I've been in, these are literally like soul family now. And my mentors, they're like soul family. It's in my clients, and it's just like I'm in full body chills because I just know that people get to hear this, need to hear this. And I want you to know too that investing in it is part of it. That's another way that you really claim your success community, because that's part of it that's just not always present in the spiritual space. Like people don't change and grow the way they do in paid communities and containers and experiences as they do in free ones. They just don't, because people show up different. It's a whole different expression, flavor of person that enters. Okay. So this is what we're doing in Capricorn Council, and it's 6 months. We are going to build visions together. You will have this soul success community as you architect your dream, for support, for tools, for networking, for collaboration, for rapid ascension. We're getting on a rocket ship of momentum, baby. We are on a rocket ship of momentum, and I invite you to come with. Like, you know, why don't we just like fuck around and change the world? But you know, in all seriousness, this is so important. And your soul came here to not be alone, but walk on the path, the hero's journey with your soul success community. It's so deeply important. So this is this episode. If you're interested in the mastermind, apply through the link in the show notes. I literally cannot wait to talk to you, to connect with you. If you are unsure, still apply. That's how I will be able to answer your questions. So yeah, just fill out the application. It's super short, sweet, and simple, and we'll be in touch. And I'm calling in people who are committed. This is a 6-month experience of, oh my God, we're just locking arms and riding together in this, like, you know what it is? It's a sacred geometry that exists where ambition and spirituality meet. It's called soul force. That's what Martin Luther King called it. He called it soul force, baby. Go apply if this is you. Link in the show notes. I love you so much. I believe in you. I believe in a better world. Go out there, smile at a stranger, because it charges the whole field and you have no idea the ripple that can make. I invite you to go pay for someone's coffee. Surprise the hell out of somebody with a miracle. Be the reason they believe again. Be the change, be the light. Stop and smell a flower or two. Breathe deeply. Remember who you are. I love you so much, and I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.